Okay. I think we're live.
Alive.
Well, I'm just gonna adjust the monitor one little bit. There we go. Wait, no, a little bit more. Bang. There we go. I think we're set. Audio looks like we're good. Green light is on. Green light is on over there. We are streaming. We are live here, everybody. Welcome. Welcome, Risa.
Thank you.
Welcome.
I feel welcomed.
Good, I'm glad. Everybody, we're gonna let the room populate here for a second. But if you're watching this on the replay, this is the weekly Friday evening Naked Famous Denim live stream. We've got a brand new subscriber, Pretty How. Thank you for joining the family here at the Naked Famous Denim weekly live stream. Let us know where you're checking in from. We're checking in from Yokohama, Japan. It is currently 8 a.m., but we like to advertise this as a 7 p.m. Eastern live stream because it just works out better that way. I hope it works out better. I've actually never asked anybody if this is the optimal time. I just kind of do it.
Yeah, well, now everybody is
now
here.
Now everyone's here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you got an opinion about it, let us know. I know some people are not able to tune in live, but let us know what would be if this is a good time for you. It's a good time for me. But what would be a good time for you if there was any other time? Good question. All right. Well,
everybody is never going to agree.
We're never going to agree. No. But if there's anyway, I'm just curious. Just generally curious. I probably won't change the time. But I would still like to know what time.
Take a poll.
Yeah, we'll take a poll. Should I make a poll? No. Just leave it in the comments. I read all the comments. That said, everybody, I think we said we're tuning in from Yokohama. Let us know where you're tuning in from. I see a lot of familiar faces here in the chat. We've got the first comment of the day. We've got Carl Morawski in the house. He just wanted to be recognized as a first commenter. Now you're being recognized live on stream, and this is forever. These streams last forever, so it is now basically like it's been written in stone. So there you have it. We've got L. Sanchez, 1984. Hello from a mine in northern Ontario. In a mine. How deep in the ground are you right now, Mr. L. Sanchez?
How are you getting this?
How are you getting this signal? Yeah. That's another good question.
Is there Wi-Fi in the mine?
There Wi-Fi? Are the mines? Why they got to be now? Yeah, I mean, there's got to be communications. I don't know.
Oh, that's true.
Right?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think you use the.
Yeah, but if anyhow, El Sanchez, he's gonna let us know. Curious minds want to know. Rice W5, hello from Birmingham, UK. Hello. Wallen, howdy from Portland, Oregon, rocking the rainbow cores. Fantastic. I posted some rainbow core fades on our Instagram this week in the stories. So, I wish. Yeah, you got to pay attention to the stories because those things only last a certain amount of time, right? But I share a lot of photos from the community, fit pics, faded pics, boot shots, you name it, we share it. So keep on sharing, but you got to pay attention because sometimes you can certainly miss stuff. But I like to put it up there because there's a couple of people who consistently post updates on their particular jeans. So if you're a rainbow core wearer, for example, like I share it so that you can maybe follow that person and keep up with their fades if you're curious about that kind of stuff. So be sure to not just look through our feed, but check out the stories because there's a lot of good stuff that goes on in there. El Sanchez, he's above ground. All right, well that makes sense. But is there Wi-Fi in the mine?
Yeah.
That's what I would like to know. I would imagine these days. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. Is it
they go really deep.
How long are they staying there for?
I don't know. They're like a kilometer under the ground. Like or more sometimes.
Yeah, but they come up to sleep and hang out and stuff.
Yeah.
Right? So,
yeah.
I don't know.
But anyways. Yeah. Do they what? I don't know. It'd be cool. I'd like to know. Never thought about it. All right. Fawa Zeroni. I'm ready to check JoJo hardware preview off my Naked Famous stream bingo card. Yeah, not yet.
Not today.
Not today. You're not gonna check that one off today.
Don't
Sorry.
leave though.
Don't leave. Stick around.
Yeah.
There's still good stuff to be talked about and discussed. BD, hello, live from my basement in my Elephant X jeans. Is there what? I guess there's Wi-Fi in the basement. BD, thanks for joining us. Matthew Jennings checking in from North Carolina. Thank you so much. Johnny Come Home, best time for me is now. All right. BD, this time is the best time. Everyone likes this time. Thank you I guess, I don't know if I'm saying thank you, but sure. The Raven, hello. Hello from Cali. Hello. Tidy and Salvage, Indiana in the house. Indiana Pacers. Pawnee, Indiana. Pawnee, Indiana. You know, every time I meet, at the last trade show, whenever I was meeting people from certain places, if they were from somewhere that I knew on TV, I'm like, oh, Wisconsin, that 70s show. Oh, you're from Indiana. Pawnee, Parks and Rec. I wonder, like, how people feel about that.
Yeah, especially if they're not from the city that they're supposed to be from, the TV people. Like, I mean,
like if I said, "Hey, I'm from Toronto," and somebody's like, "Oh, Kim's Convenience," I'm like, "Yes."
Yeah, but that's Toronto. It's not like, "Hey, I'm from Canada," or like Ontario, and like,
right. I guess someone could make that
somebody somewhere else. Anyways, is Pawnee a real place?
Pawnee is a real place.
Okay,
it's got to be a real place. I'm presuming it's a real place.
Because that
was a documentary. That show.
Yes, for the longest time I was like, the first time I was watching The Office, I was wondering if Scranton was a real place.
Oh, Scranton's real.
Yeah,
very real. Oak Odell, Bellingham, Washington. Thank you for joining us. One love. Devin Hart, not wearing any of your. Devin Hurt, not wearing any of your 3 Alien watches. No watch on the wrist this morning. You know what? I tend not to wear them when I'm recording video or streaming because they can jingle around. Yeah. And they make noise.
Or typing. Like, yeah. I don't want to wear many things.
So that's what happens there. I just ordered the Red Cores in Easy Guy. Mel U writes. Good choice. Easy Guy Red Core Salvage. That was a delayed release. You know, the Red Cores came out, I think, 3 or 4 weeks ago. Can't remember at this point, but it was a couple of weeks ago. The Red Core Salvage, the Red Gradient Core Salvage came out, and we just released the Easy Guy version of that today. So if you were waiting for the Easy Guy, you can get that now at Tate and Yoko Montreal or Naked Famous Denim NYC. If you go back to the blog post for the Red Gradient Core on nakedfamousdenim.com, I know a lot of different websites. There's a full retailer listing there. So yeah, 3 websites: nakedfamousdenim.com. We don't sell anything on that website. No. It's just a information website. Yeah.
And you can link to Tate and Yoko if you click on like any of the products and shop now kind of things.
But then we have the retailer, all of our retailer listings. So if you're looking for one of our partners worldwide, we have the listing there. Yeah. And then in the blog section, we have, anytime we have a new release or news, there's a post about it. And then when there's a release, there's a list of all the retailers. So if you want to find something local, you can. And then it's listed out by country and then by retailer and then which fits that retailer carries. So it's a very good resource if you're looking for older stuff. You know, sometimes I get comments in older videos and like, oh, I can't find these anymore. Where can I get it? Check the blog post and then you'll see the retailer listing there. And, you know, especially for the smaller guys, not everybody has like a larger internet presence. You know, they're mostly local. They have a website, right? So, and they might not show up on the Google search, you know, for like, a bit, you know.
But and even if they don't have a website or like even if they don't have an online store selling it, like, give them a call.
Yeah, you never know. Yeah, it's a good idea. White Lightning, aka Aqua, writes, "Happy 23rd birthday, Sega Dreamcast."
He's on the same wavelength.
Guys, I'm just saying, you know, when I didn't have movie time suggestions today, but I did have Sega Dreamcast game suggestions today. So we'll get to the end. We'll talk about the Sega Dreamcast. Big fan. Chen Yip. Oh, hey guys. Hello. Welcome to the chat. El Sanchez, about the mines, about the Wi-Fi. Yeah, would think with all the electronic and stuff that the equipment use these days. Okay. I guess he's also presuming that there's some Wi-Fi down there. But Hubert, just subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much, Hubert. That's your, there you go. You're in there. You got the little psychedelic, tragic blonde going there.
I missed that.
Yeah, I missed that. We got it working last week. And then now we're back. Now it's working again. Dennis, first time live from Montreal. Well, thank you for joining the chat, especially from Montreal. Welcome. Bienvenue. Shay Longley, Hilton, Alberta. Welcome. My gear for today, Elephant X, Canada West boots with a Jericho bamboo t-shirt. All Canadian made. Well, thank you very much. All Canadian made, supporting Made in Canada. Fun fact about bamboo is that they're often not made of, well, they are made of bamboo, but so I know in Canada, when bamboo materials were first sort of hitting the market, everyone was saying, oh, it's made of bamboo, made of bamboo. And that was kind of true, right? Because bamboo materials are technically rayon. In fact, rayon is a semi-synthetic, semi-natural fiber. Basically, rayon in the past, and still mostly, is made from like wood pulp, but any cellulosic fiber can be turned into rayon. So when they use bamboo, they're just replacing it with, replacing the wood with bamboo, and then they're creating rayon from that. So it still creates like a very swooshy, nice, soft fabric, but a lot of people got in trouble for labeling it straight up bamboo, because it's not like they're taking the bamboo and then they're spinning it into a yarn.
Like you would do with cotton,
right,
or like a lot of other natural fibers are like literally natural. Like,
there's nothing else. Like cotton is cotton, right? They might wash it and things like that, but it is the cotton fiber. It's twisted and spun into a yarn, and then
and that's why some people like it, because there's no chemical like processing involved. It's better for the environment, blah blah blah. But rayon making is very synthetic.
Yeah, it's synthetically made from natural fiber. So I mean, it is it's not purely a chemical thing. But anyways,
not to say it's
bad. I'm not saying it's bad.
I think it's fine, and as long as they're responsible in making it
and responsibly labeling it, right? So
it's a very tricky thing.
Yeah, that one's tricky. So some people don't. I know when it first came out, there was a lot of hubbub about it, and then they started forcing people to label it like rayon from bamboo or something like that. So, but I still see sometimes ads and stuff. And they're like, it's bamboo. I'm like, you gotta be a little more specific about it. Yeah. Right.
Speaking of which, we recently saw denim made with real bamboo.
Oh yeah.
Fiber. Yes. Like straight from bamboo.
Yeah.
And it was not wearable.
It's not. Yeah, that's true. We were with one of our fabric suppliers, one of our guys who does fabric for us, and we were going through some of his new developments, and I'm looking at this, and I've seen like really, really hairy, like fabrics. They kind of look like a coconut husk, like, and it's crazy. Yeah. It looks cool. And on the thing it said bamboo, and I'm like, wait a minute, did you make this from weaving bamboo fiber? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, this is crazy. He's like, yeah. I'm like, you can't wear this. And he's like, yeah.
It's not for clothing. It's not for jeans, at least.
It was insane, and I'm like, what could we possibly? Because I'm like, I'm. As a fabric nerd, I'm looking at this like, this is awesome. Like, this is crazy. Yeah. And then as a practical person, you're like, what on? I can't make jeans. Yeah. Because it would be so scratchy.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure some of you guys might have seen hibiscus denim. It's such a great idea. Yeah. I love it. Not wearable. Yeah. Banana denim, fiber denim.
Yeah, we talked about banana because we actually sampled banana a long time ago, and it was the same thing. super hairy and just, you know, I got to get a swatch of it at some point. Anyway,
Yeah.
I'll show you guys. I always explain it. But unwearable.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like it's worse than wearing like 100 grit like sandpaper. It is.
Yeah. And like even if as a denim jacket, obviously not jeans because
Yeah.
you cannot touch that like 24/7.
Yeah.
But even with a jacket, like a lot of people wear a t-shirt underneath. So like this part is gonna touch the fiber.
But even the t-shirt, it would penetrate. Like those fibers would just it would be terrible. What if you make it lined if Italy writes? In fact, with the bamboo, we lined the jeans.
No, with the banana.
Oh, sorry, with the banana. We lined the sample. It was terrible.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to wear lined jeans. That's, you know, it's just not something you want to do. And those fibers are so coarse, like, and long. They're gonna penetrate the lining. They're gonna penetrate your t-shirt. It's gonna be awful.
Yeah.
Just very awful.
And like, speaking of line, we have a blanket line denim coming, but it's actually not line. It's like
a double weave.
line looking jeans.
Yeah.
When it comes to jeans, it's very hard to wear something that's lined.
Right. That's right. Cathedral Ring writes about the bamboo. So don't get bamboozled. That's right. Don't do it. Okay. I picked up a denim jacket for this. Picked up a denim jacket for the first time. How far down should it fit? Mine reaches just to the button of my pants. Feels a bit short, but not sure if that's the way it fits. It depends on you. I mean, it depends on your body. Usually the jean jacket should fit around your waistline. You know, older jackets fit really high. More modern jackets fit a little bit lower.
Older jeans were high rise.
Yeah.
Like it was always around the waist of the jeans. I think that was how it was meant to be.
Yeah. So here's the denim jacket. So you can see I'm wearing with the work shirt. Work shirt comes out a little bit.
Yeah.
My waistline is here. Jacket is right around the waistline. So that's how our jackets are designed. If your torso is a little bit shorter or longer, it might hit you a little bit differently. But something like that is where it should be.
Yeah.
If older denim jackets are really short, really short. And if you're wearing like more modern jeans, sometimes it doesn't pair up.
Right.
It just looks a little odd.
Yeah.
You have to wear the higher trousers or higher rise jeans for those to kind of match up nicely.
But you know, you can play around with what you wear underneath, just to make the layer look more natural.
Okay, is there is there a release schedule for fall shirts? No. If you want the fall shirts, go on tatenyoko.com or nakedfamousdenim.com. You see the shirt that you like, put your email in for the notify me. So you'll see that it's like when you go on the website, it'll say sold out or coming soon. So just click on the size you want, put your notification in. With the shirts, we just kind of release them. Yeah. And
shirts will be available like in batches. So like once it starts to come, it's gonna come like pretty quickly.
A couple of pocket tees came out yesterday. So if you go on Naked Famous and you go to the latest arrivals, you see a bunch of pocket tees there. But yeah, we're not organized enough yet to have like release schedules for the shirts. We put out a lot of shirts. So it would, not that it's impossible, it's just we don't have as much time as we would like.
Another subscriber.
Ben Ridge 9. Ben Ridge 9. Thank you for welcome. Well, thank you for subscribing to the channel and welcome to the live stream family. There you go. Okay. Somebody was here. Robert Eubanks. Is the ability to select leather patches available yet? I would like to pick up a pair of left-hand twill jeans from. I'd like to pick up a pair of left-hand twill jeans and select a custom leather patch. How does one select the custom leather patch? So this is gonna happen starting on Monday. So we're gonna launch it on Monday. Basically, how it's gonna work is you pick the product that you like. So left-hand twill, for example. And then we're going to have a collection page of leather patches. So the patches are going to vary in price from like $8 to $12. No, they're mostly $8, $10, or $12. I think the shell cordovan is $18, and so it's like a product. So you'll add that to your cart, and then also when you pick the leather patch, you indicate when you order it. So from the drop down, like you were picking a size, you say if you want the stitching to be top and bottom, or if you want the stitching to be all around. So you just pick that, add that to your cart, and then you finish your transaction. If you want a hemming, you put that in the comment section, and then we'll apply the leather patch.
But if if you're buying two pairs of jeans, and you only want the leather patch on one of them, you have to indicate that in the note,
Right.
like order note
So
section.
so if, say for example, you want like a 10-ounce veg tan leather patch, and you buy 2 pairs of jeans. So you buy a left hand twill and a black power stretch. In the comment section, say you want the patch applied only to the left hand twill, right? And if you're buying more than one jean, you have to buy as many leather patches to match the number of jeans. So there's going to be an instruction page that kind of outlines it. It says, like, if you buy 2 jeans, make sure to buy 2 leather patches. Or if you're buying multiple leather patches, indicate which patch should go on which jean. And we also recommend for thicker leather patches. And so you'll see a little disclaimer on the thicker leather patch options that we recommend sewing on all 4 sides, all around. I know some people like to have the ability to pass their belt through on thicker leather patches. But usually when we put out a thicker leather patch, we sew it all around. So some people, they use a seam ripper, they open it up a little bit. If we do top and bottom stitching for a thick patch, that's on you, right? So if it comes off or it breaks off, like, after some wear, like I'm not gonna be like, oh, we're gonna refund you for that or anything like that. That is, we're doing that at your discretion. And we don't normally do a top and bottom sewing anymore. So just because it just can't secure that thick leather patch the way that sewing it on all 4 sides does. So be aware that we will we'll have the blog post on Monday that explains everything. We'll have a collection page with all the leather patches so you can see everything. Tati and Yoko will probably do a live stream that kind of explains the whole process as well. So there's going to be some information out there, and I hope you guys enjoy it, and I hope you guys use the customization.
Yeah, and some of the leather patches are limited, so if you want something, maybe don't wait too long. If you just want to buy the leather patch, that's also...
Yeah, right. Like if you have a jean at home.
Yeah, that you want a leather patch attached on your end, you just want the leather patch, then you can just buy it, and then, just make sure, if you're buying a jeans with it, just make sure we know that.
Oh, right.
We don't want it attached to anything.
That's true. Yeah, say you buy a pair of jeans and you just want a leather patch.
Yeah,
make sure to note that in the comments, because if you order it, we're putting it on. Yeah. Unless you say otherwise. I should put that in the instructions. I didn't think about that situation. Yeah, that's a good point. Venomous Teddy, you and Reese are matching now. Yeah, there we go.
Right after Labor Day.
Yeah, right after Labor Day, A-okay with me. I don't mind. You should do it always. Somebody asked a question. I can't see it, but about if I had washed my raw cotton slub jeans yet. They are in the wash. They're in the hamper.
Laundry basket. Yeah, so I haven't washed it yet because I was doing the dark loads. Yeah. And I didn't want to.
Can't put that in with the colors. Yeah. Can't put that in with the colors. Yeah. So coming soon. I'll probably have an update next week. Follow myself on Instagram, BAHZADT. The link is in the description there. Follow me on the Instagram, and you'll see an updated photo as soon as they're ready. I have a feeling, and I'm it's not just a feeling. I would say it's more of a educated guess that they're just going to be clean. Like they're going to look like this again. I don't think any of those stains are permanent. Maybe the paint is going to stick around.
Paint and that, like, whatever, like, reddish stains that probably came from some kind of food, that might stay.
We'll see.
That surface thing of, like...
Dirt.
Like, gray dirt. Yeah. And, like, blue indigo. Yeah. Like, rub-offs, that probably
Yeah,
would
those
come
are
off.
those are probably gonna come. They're gonna be. I think they're gonna be pretty clean. Which will just show people that you don't have to be afraid of wearing like ecru denim, because you think you're gonna like damage it, or stains are gonna build up on it and then they're gonna be ruined. No, like it's just they're gonna come out clean. You're gonna have to do some like pretty heavy damage to those jeans to make them
Yeah.
like have a permanent stain.
And I think that's also part of like the appeal of a crew denim for me, at least. It's that you don't have to worry about like like so much as that building towards a certain fade pattern. Like it's
Yeah.
gonna be
Yeah.
like you can wash it anytime it's dirty, and
Right.
it's not gonna ruin your plan for the jeans. Really.
Yeah. Right. I mean, I was being extreme with them, wearing them
Right.
5 months without washing them. You can wash them as regular, right? If you get a little stain on them and you're worried about it, just wash them. It's no big deal.
Like for instance, this jacket, we washed it.
Yeah, we washed
And
it
it's still-
initially, but
yeah.
it's still pretty crispy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's got this like the texture's like plumped up even more now, and it still has that like hard.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm gonna take it off because I think I'm looking a little too overexposed here. But on my legs, my last year's Indigo Invitational pair, the solid black Selvedge. These we washed yesterday, and they are looking great. They're just looking fantastic. And I'm gonna start washing these on a much more regular basis. Also, I don't put as much wear into them as I used to, obviously.
Mhm.
But I think just with regular washing, like anytime you do a dark load, maybe I'll just throw them in there and see how much we can fade them through the washing process.
Mhm.
Because I mean, all my creases and stuff, that's already settled. I just want to get these as light a black denim as I can,
Mhm.
and see how far we can go with that. So this is a new experiment in just regular washing to see how much we can fade it.
Mhm.
So I'll see how that goes. Okay. Can't wait for the release of the blanket-lined denim zip jacket. Pictures coming soon. Dennis writes, yes, maybe. So there's so that particular jacket is going through a little bit of transformation. If you watched the fall winter 2022 preview, you saw that the zipper didn't go all the way to the top. It was a little too long,
Yeah.
so we're shortening up that jacket, so it's going to be more like a much more like waist level,
Mhm.
and then the zip is going to go all the way up.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's coming soon. I hope. I did just ask our pattern maker for an update. I did not get that update.
Mhm.
But that is happening.
Once the fit is approved,
yeah,
then they
it'll
have
go
to
into
make
production.
this.
Well,
they
once the
have to
fit is
make-
approved,
Or they have to make them.
yeah,
Like,
they have to do the production, and then
yeah.
it'll probably be, I don't know when they'll be ready. Hopefully soon.
Yeah, and then we have to take the pictures.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
A lot of
Well,
steps
once
still.
the fit is approved, then we could just take a picture of that and just hey, this is what's coming. But like it won't be on the product pages yet. Like we could tease it. We could show that this fit.
Yeah,
jacket
we
is
probably
coming.
only make one of the jackets.
Yeah.
So unless it's the correct
correct
fabric,
fabric.
yeah.
We'll see. Offshoot release date. Actually, let me pull that up because
should be coming up.
yeah, it's gonna come up soon. So I'm planning stuff, and like nothing's set in stone when it comes to our release schedule until I announce an actual date. But I know we got them in stock. I have them tentatively scheduled for September 23rd. I do have the offshoot with me, so we're gonna preview those today. But next week, next Friday, actually, let's talk about what came out today, and then we'll talk about what's gonna come out next Friday. So what came out today was the Blue Smoke Stretch Salvage, and that's this guy right here. So I don't have, in the last couple of videos, it's like when we're previewing the jeans, we don't have the pocket flashes. I don't have the pocket flashers with me. Anyways,
Kinda a shame.
hopefully we'll get mailed those soon. But this is the Blue Smoke Stretch Salvage, the latest release. Looks pretty black, as you can see. I mean, let's compare it to my black denim, and I mean, it's right up there. It looks like a black denim with a white weft. And the beauty of this fabric is that it actually fades quite blue. So very, very neat fading property of this jean. Very, very clean looking denim, smooth denim with a just a stealthy look. You know, black stitching, suede leather patch, blacked out hardware. So that's our mill spec non-reflective hardware made by YKK for us. This came out today, available in Super Guy, Weird Guy, Easy Guy, and Stacked Guy. So if you're a Stacked Guy fan, there hasn't been a Stacked Guy release in a while. This is a new chance for you to get it. And it's a Selvedge Stacked Guy. You know, we do the deep indigo stretch Selvedge and Stacked Guy, but this is another.
The second one.
This is the second Selvedge option. Usually, we don't have a lot of Selvedge options because, you know, 100% cotton in the Stacked Guy fit makes for a very difficult jean to wear. They're
the legs are so skinny.
They're so skinny. So that said, you need to have that little bit of stretch. So Blue Smoke Stretch Selvedge came out today, available now at Tata and Yoko, Naked Famous Denim, NYC. A bunch of our retail partners have it as well. Yeah. Then, we also did the fade logs. So there is a new version of the fade log that came out today. Do we have one? We might have an old one in there. Yeah, I'll just show that one. So we did a new batch of fade logs. So we sold out of the previous ones. Our friend Evan at Tannery South makes these for us, and the older one. This is one. I guess this is a one he made for me. I didn't use this one. So hold on. I guess he sent me a bunch of different samples. This is a different one. Anyways, our previous fade logs had this kind of design, where you know, it would say style, acquired, Selvedge, raw denim, Sanforization, on Sanforization. So we took some of that information. You know, some people used, some people didn't use. So we kind of, on the newer one, I should probably pull it up on my end so I can describe it better. The newer one has more relevant information, and it also has more areas for you to like check off the amount of wears. And so these are just kind of a neat tool for you to keep track of your fade progress. So, you know, you keep it in your back pocket or, you know, whatever. And, you know, when you wore it, when you washed it, how long it's kind of been. And it's kind of useful because at some point you inevitably just forget this information. And, you know, I know as we are collecting more and more faded jeans for our collection, you know, we ask people, you know, a little bit about their story. And some people remember more about their jeans than others. You know, my left-hand Twills, for example, like, I just don't know. Like, I think they're about 6 years old. The amount of washes and wears, I couldn't tell you. I mean, at some point you will run out of space for wears, but at least you can keep track of a little bit of information. Plus, it's kind of nice. I mean, it's just a nice piece of leather. These are the Veg Tan ones. You can see that they do age nicely. If you this had a piece of leather on top, so it didn't faded inconsistently. But that's just part of it. So, anyways, you mark it off with a Sharpie, keep it in your pocket, and you keep your information there. And they're only a few bucks. So, and you help support a little local producer like Evan over at Tannery South. So. These are restocked, available now in the new format. So I hope you like those. And that was the other release for today. Now we are we're releasing the. We got a little bit of streaming lag. Hopefully we'll be all right. Let me just go over there. So the release for next week is this guy. I forgot to bring the regular left-hand Twill, but you guys might know it already. So this.
Wait, that's next week?
Next Friday, the 23rd. No, sorry. Next week is the Salvaged Selvedge. Then the Offshoot Broken Twill Selvedge. So hold on a second.
Next week is not 23rd.
Yeah.
Next week is 16th.
Next week is the 16th. So
Yeah.
we have a gene that I don't have the sample of here, but it is visible on the Tate and Yoko website. And it's a gene called the Salvaged Selvedge. And I talked about it before. I don't have the sample, but this is a denim that is kind of has an interesting story behind it. So in 2018, there was, Japan, we get a lot of tsunamis. There's a lot of natural disasters that happens in Japan.
Don't get a lot of tsunamis, but yes.
No, right.
Natural
There's
disaster
tsunamis.
prone,
Well,
yeah.
I mean, there and typhoon. I meant to say typhoons, but
Yeah.
there's a lot of typhoons. Less tsunamis, a lot of typhoons. Typhoon's like a hurricane. So there's a lot of, there's earthquakes, there's mudslides, and everything that mudslides are part of the typhoon situation. Not so much earthquakes. That's just another instance. Earthquakes.
That causes it too.
Earthquakes can cause mudslides. Mudslides are caused by a lot of things.
Yes.
But anyways,
a lot of
natural disasters. So in 2018, in the Okayama region, they were hit pretty hard by some typhoons and mudslides. And what happened to a lot of mills is that they got wrecked. Mudslides ravaged them. Their
floods.
The machines were covered in dirt and mud. Their inventory was covered in dirt and mud. And generally speaking, when stuff like that happens, it's like, okay, that's a write-off. That's just trash. It's there's not much we can do with it. Like, we'll do our best to repair the machines, and the machines for the most part are fixed. But a lot of inventory, it gets covered in mud, it gets covered in water and moisture, and you know what happens when that happens. And so instead of discarding this, we thought maybe we can use this. And so the fabric was cleaned. It was rinse washed. So usually when you wash a denim, it's usually at the garment stage. So after it's been cut and sewn and made into a pair of jeans, then they wash it to give it that washed look. But obviously we weren't gonna sew, dirty denim. The denim was washed, it was cleaned, and then it was re-rolled into rolls, cut, and then shipped to us, made into fabric, made into jeans. I'm losing my, it's still early. So this denim is basically a salvaged denim, and I thought it was just kind of a funny title, and it makes sense. Sometimes people think when we say salvage denim, they think it's like, oh yeah, like old recycled denim. It's not. No.
Yeah. This one is.
But this one is in a way.
It's not old.
Yeah.
But, so the thing to note here is that a lot of mills actually are very, very small. There are bigger mills, obviously, that that everybody knows, like at a big facility, warehousing, everything is nice and efficient and clean. But there's actually a ton of small mills that are making a lot of good fabrics, and those are the people who got hurt the most, because they don't have a proper facilities to prevent stuff from being wrecked in the floods or heavy rains and stuff like that. So it's just kind of like we never want them to go out of business, because a lot of small mills can do things that like other mills can't do or won't do. So we want them to be alive, and we just like it was just a great idea. It was to reuse that. At least they might not be making full money on the fabrics that are ruined, but they were able to not discard
for it to not go to complete waste. So we got the fabric, we made it into jeans. We cut around the major problematic areas. There are obviously, when you're cutting jeans, even when you get new fabric, sometimes there's damages or defects in the fabric, and you got to cut around it, right? So
But we didn't have actually
we
too
didn't
much
have
of it.
too much
It's in
trouble.
mud, so it washes
Yeah,
off.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, you'll notice that the denim is washed, so it's
Right.
noticeably rinse
Yeah.
wash. And sometimes there might be a little mark or a whatever in the jean. That is by design.
Mhm.
Like if you get a pair and you're like, oh well, there's a discoloration here.
Yeah.
That's part of the
it,
story.
yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to this jean. It's gonna be available on next Friday, which is the 16th.
I just got the pictures, by the way.
Right.
So of like what it like was like,
Yeah.
you know, with the rolls of fabric stacked up and just covered in mud and stuff like that. So I mean, you can probably picture it.
Yeah, we'll have a blog post where we show it off and explain it, because this is a very different product from anything that we've ever made before. I mean, we've made a lot of Selvedge denim jeans, but
our aim is to have the highest quality products from highest quality fabrics. In this sense, it's not it's not the highest quality in terms of like it came out perfectly.
Yeah, it actually it did.
It did,
but then
it got ruined.
It's anyways, I really like this. I like that we were able to do it. And I hope you guys enjoy it. I think it's a good story. It's a great way to support our guys. And like Risa was saying, these small mills, sometimes they're just they can do so much for you, and they can work really, really hard for you. And that's the kind of the beauty of small and independent businesses. And, for those of you who don't know, we're working with Michael from the Iron Snail. He's a YouTuber, vlogger type person. He does a lot of like men's product reviews. He does watch commentary. He has another channel called Theo and Harris. It's like vintage luxury watches and stuff. Great guy, and we're doing a denim jacket with him. Right? He designed a jacket. We're gonna do the production for him, and he's kind of been vlogging about his experiences, in the development of this. So he just released a video. He's going to be taking pre-orders very soon, so you want to go over to his channel, The Iron Snail, and check it out. And there was a comment that somebody left in one of his videos, and I was like, it was like a punch in the chest to me, and I'm like, this is such an unusual comment.
There you go. We need a bell for the rant time.
Yeah, this is rant time. So I'm not going to say this person's name, even though it's a public comment. You can find it yourself. It's on the Iron Snail's latest video, which is starting my Japanese denim brand back to New York, day 4. So now I lost the comment. I have it here somewhere. Okay, so this person left a comment, and he wrote to Michael, I hate to break it to you, but fashion companies are huge these days, and to make it... Sorry, let me read it again. I hate to break it to you, but fashion companies are huge these days, and to make your mark, you need a strong pedigree in fashion design. I do, however, like the jacket. Well, I'm glad you like the jacket, but this comment that fashion companies are huge these days, and you need a strong pedigree in fashion design. I've spent this many minutes in a fashion school. I have no fashion design background, formal training at all. You took some fashion stuff in school.
In fashion merchandising.
Right? In fashion merchandising.
It's not the same thing.
Yeah.
But
Tammy doesn't.
Regardless of
like,
degrees per se. Like, I mean, Brandon has, his entire family been in this industry, and that's a very valuable thing.
Sure.
And that definitely helped like Naked and Famous get this charge. But that's not the only thing.
No,
that's
not at
really far from the only things. And I mean, it's just
being a big brand. Like, Brandon had background, he had experience, but even then, like, it doesn't secure nothing, right? If Brandon didn't get some of the breaks that he got early on, it would have been gone by now, right? A lot of brands started when we started. A lot of brands were bigger when we started, and they're not here anymore, right? There are a lot of brands that are huge today that won't be here in 10 years from now. They won't be here in 5 years from now. Like, the independent brands right now, and independent brands in general, are what creates all of the energy in the fashion industry. And like the idea that like, oh, if you don't have if you don't have these things, you're not gonna make it. It's like, well, I guess that's pretty generic advice. Like, oh well, if you don't know how to do this, that, and the other thing, well, good luck. And it's like you're short betting on somebody. You know what I mean? Like,
But also, it's like, okay, regardless of like if it's supportive or not supportive, the comment itself, it's like it mentions that like these days fashion companies are huge. Yes, there's a huge, much bigger scale fashion company today than maybe 50 years ago. That's true, but at the same time, today is
way more
way
independence.
it's
Yeah.
a lot easier
Yeah.
for independent brands to actually mark your
Yeah.
whatever you say. It's just like that is like the beauty of today's fashion
Yeah.
world.
I've seen brands that just start on Instagram,
Mhm.
right? Or on like fashion forums.
Mhm.
And now they're, there's a lot of, especially in the streetwear world, it's just a guy, right? A guy, he's got a following or, developed over time by, making interesting comment or commentary. They build a brand and then they like take over this entire sector. And it's like, they're not a big brand. They look like a big brand because now all of a sudden you've got their brand next to this other brand on this very important, shopping website or store. And it's like, you don't need to be big. You don't need to have a degree. You don't need to have any of this formal training. If you've got a good product, a good head on your shoulders, you have a very good chance of being successful in this business. And being successful in this business doesn't mean you end up having a mall store in every mall in America and in every, shopping street, every major shopping street in every major city. That is success for someone.
Goal. Yeah.
Right?
If that is everybody's goal, we would be looking at very boring fashion,
Landscape.
Yeah.
Right?
It's I'm sure you guys are probably the people who know the most that
Right.
like what makes clothing unique is just the abundance of these independent creators.
Yeah.
That
But it's like, it's not just clothing. It's like, it's everything.
Mhm.
Like, imagine somebody said to you, oh, you're going to open a pizza restaurant? Oh, well, Papa John's and Domino's exist. Good luck. And it's like, yes, they exist and they might make a fine product, but I'm going to make something that they're not going to make. Or I'm going to do it in a way that I do it and people might like that more, right? Or differently, right? Like, it's just this idea that, well,
you might as well not try.
Yeah, you might as well not try because
there's
these
other people there who are bigger
and way more successful than you are. And it's like, yeah, okay,
yes,
that's fine. And but it's not a reason to not start something, right?
Especially if that's you believe in yourself and you can see that this is happening. Then that's just for somebody who's especially like you're commenting and already. Started working on ideas. You're not like crushing somebody's dream before it even starts.
Right.
It's just like.
But it's also like but
it's very rude.
It's rude, but that comment is also very like, most small businesses fail, right? Mm-hmm. They just do, and it's like, well, it's like being like, well, I'm right. It's it's like there's a cocky attitude behind that where it's like, huh, good luck. Right. Well, I'm like, oh, well, see, I was right. You didn't become a huge successful brand, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yeah, but that's such a like, you're betting on the sun setting tonight. Right. Like, no, that's not true. The sun sets every night. But I don't have a good analogy for this. But it's such a weird thing to like.
Yeah, you're like
to say where it's like, yeah, it's obvious, bro. Like, I know that. I know I'm taking a risk. But if we don't take risks in life and like believe in ourselves and believe in the people that we like and where are we going to be, right? We're just going to have multinational giant corporation brands and that's it. Don't try to be creative because someone else is bigger and more successful than you right now. Nonsense, absolute nonsense. Anyways, I find myself doing this all the time where I see like a comment on the internet and I start writing. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna tell this guy. I'm like, forget it. But I just need to get it off my chest. So sometimes I write it and I'm like, okay, it's off my chest. Delete. Like I don't need to have a back and forth with anybody. I just need to say my thing.
Yeah.
This
it's
is what
for
rant
you
time is
to
for.
process that thoughts out of your mind.
Yeah. Farron Harris. Hermes had to start somewhere. Yeah. Everyone started somewhere. You know, there are brands that show up on the market that are designed to be big, right?
Yeah.
Because there's
a lot of investors behind
so
it,
much money behind it, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, that's a different market. It's like, my aim is to be a brand that is sold at every Nordstrom, Saks Fifth Avenue, and like every major department store in the world. So what do? We hit up every trade show in the world, set up the biggest booth, biggest advertising campaign, and you're
Send
going
it to all the famous people who might, wear your things.
And they start like that. And it's like, that's the point.
Yeah.
The point is that we want to be an anchor brand at a department store. And department stores they're not always looking for anchor brands, but they need anchor brands.
Hyped brands. Right. And if you can create the hype artificially, which you can with a lot of money, then that's a great way to get in on that. But there's also different kinds of hype that happens organically. Yeah,
there's the hype that like the independent creator makes, and you've seen it. There's these pop-up installations, and they even happen at the department stores now. The department stores are inviting these guys from Instagram to be like, come to our store, have an event. You're gonna have a whole space, and we're gonna have a whole thing for you. And it's like, it's good for them, and the store needs it because they need to look cool. So we need to look to you, the independent creator, to make us look cool again. Because if all we sold was that stuff, nobody thinks we're cool.
Yeah, and everybody sold the same thing. All the department store, you cannot differentiate like what you're doing from what other stores are doing from stores' perspective.
Dennis Wethmer writes, "Isn't the world moving to online shopping?" I think the world
has accepted online shopping way more.
Here's my crazy opinion on it. The world used to be catalog shopping. The majority of shopping in the world from the 1900s, even before the 1900s, but let's just say 1901 to the year 1999, most of those decades, people bought from catalogs. You wanted to buy anything, you opened up the catalog, and you said, okay, I need some jeans, I'm going to order it from Sears, and send them my check, and they're going to send me some jeans. So
I disagree that it was most.
I wouldn't say most, but it was very common.
It was
you
common,
could buy
but
a
it's
house.
Not like it's not like a online shopping is common today, like not to the same degree.
But catalog shopping was normal. A lot of people shopped for their home appliances, their clothes. They would buy all of their DIY stuff. They bought it from catalogs. Then the mega stores came, and the mega stores came, and the bigger stores came, and people were like, oh, well, I don't need to do the catalog anymore. I can go to the store. I could just pick it up and buy it. And they have everything at the mega store. So catalog shopping slowly started to diminish. Even when I was a kid, but even then, when I was a kid, I mean, the catalog became more of an advertising piece for you to go to the mega store. The Sears catalog went from you can buy everything in the catalog to you look in the catalog, you come to the store. But you know what? My mother worked at Sears for a long time, and people would still shop the catalog because like not everything was in the Sears location. So there was a section in the Sears where you would still shop the catalog. They had all the catalogs set up in the back. You can go through it, and then there was a counter, and you would order it from there. So to me, online shopping is just the new version of catalog shopping. We've taken it from the physical book, just like you don't use the phone that's connected to the wall anymore. Now the phone is in your hand, and the phone is everywhere you go. Now the catalog is on your computer and everywhere you go. So we just kind of switched the script a little bit, and it went from the catalog to the store, going to the mall, going to the Mega Mart, whatever, back to shopping online. But it's just shifting. So what you're seeing is like independent stores now have to be a little bit more crafty in the way that they operate. They have to be more, specializing in certain things, having
expertise of the salesperson to recommend you or something. Especially when it comes to clothing, I think it is very some people only shop online, and I think that's fine, and the ability to do that it's great. Like it doesn't matter if you live in a city or like a rural town where it's not a lot of things are available.
Yeah.
It's great, but like there's always going to be a place for the physical shop. It is a very different experience. Like it's like going to a grocery store versus shopping on Amazon. Like on Amazon, you buy stuff you need, and that's it.
Yeah.
But in grocery store, every time we go to grocery store, we end up with like 5 times more things than we needed.
Yeah.
And that's just the part of it. Like you wouldn't discover anything you knew if it was just buying stuff that you already know you want.
So certainly more people are shopping online than ever before, because at one point there was no online. All right, you weren't shopping online because if you're 1980, you weren't shopping online. But I feel like this is just the evolution of catalog shopping. But it'll just, what it'll do to retail is that it'll businesses that don't exist anymore, maybe they didn't have the right setup. That's not always the case. The pandemic certainly was a setup that we weren't expecting and couldn't be planned for. That shut down a lot of businesses. But businesses that are coming up now, they know that they have to have an online component. They have to have good customer service in store, create an experience for that customer. And I think we'll see a fine balance, because even now, there's, as much as we love our technology, I think that there's also technology fatigue, where we're just kind of tired of, wow, everything's an app, everything's a this. Do I have to sign up for everything now? Like, there's a lot of that. By the way, subscribe to our YouTube channel and newsletter. Anyways, there's a bit of fatigue, I think, with it. And going out to the shops, I think, becomes more of an experience.
Yeah. And it's like, it feels like it's a little break from like feeling like you have to do all the research. I think online shopping is a lot more like you decide, like, does it fit me? What kind of, materials it use? Is it, is it going to feel nice? Like all those things, like you kind of have to research yourself. Yeah. Nobody's recommending you, hey, look at this. Like, I mean, other than, just robots recommending, how about this? Yeah. But it's just like, when you're shopping for apparel in person, like the beauty is that somebody's like, hey, you probably never heard of this thing, but this is amazing. Right.
Not every store is like that, but stores have to become like that.
100%.
There's that meme of Ron Swanson walking into the hardware store, and hi, how can I help you? And Ron's just like, I know more than you. And he walks past them. Mm-hmm. You can't, obviously there are customers like that, but like as a salesperson, you need to be Ron in that situation. Be like, actually, but you need to be an expert at the thing that you do. And when you become that, or on your way to that, people start to trust you, and that shopping experience becomes that much more better. I mean, that's why we look at places like Blue Owl or James Dent. When you walk into a store like that, those guys know what they're talking about.
Yeah, they did the studying for you, so you can just listen to them.
You can trust them. Yeah. So, all right, Carl, can you tell me about the killer flannel you're wearing? This is a new one from the Fall Winter 2022 collection. It hasn't dropped yet. But it does have our new, notice on the back, maybe my hair's covering it, cross-cut detail on the back there. So,
and the fabric is
a heavyweight.
Nice. It's very heavy, cozy, feels so soft.
Fabric, beautiful.
And a cat hair.
Yeah, and a cat hair, very soft, brushed flannel, heavyweight. I mean, I love these things. I know that you're a fan of ours too. But anyways, we'll have some more information on these as they are going to be released. I think for the work shirts, maybe we need to do a little. I always say it every season with our shirts, like we just don't put out enough content. We need to put more content out especially for the work shirts. Okay, so anyways, that was catalog shopping. That was online shopping. That was ranting about
being negative towards independent new businesses.
Yeah. Not fun. Eric Bennett writes, shopping in the 80s. In my family, you don't really go out and get things. If you want something, you write it on a list, and then the housekeeper goes out and gets it. Andy Bernard. I love Andy.
Yes.
That was such a good line. Yeah, you just write it down and what's her name gets it. But yeah, right, W5. The catalog shopping was like primitive web shopping. Yeah, it was, physical internet. No hyperlinks, no information superhighway. But yeah, I mean, I loved getting those catalogs. Right, it was amazing.
Well,
Toys R Us Sears catalog, because you would open up, you go to the toy section, and they'd have like these scenes built out with all the toys, like all the He-Man toys were in like a giant battle, and they had the castle. They'd have.
Is it all color pages?
No, not everything was color. I think at one point maybe the Sears catalog got really fancy and everything was color.
Like how thick was it?
Thick, like it wasn't like quite a phone book, but like they were pretty thick, and
it has to be, right?
It was incredible. And there was a store called Consumers Distributing that we used to go to, Catalog Shopping, and they also had a store in some malls. I remember going to the mall and going to the Consumers Distributing store, and the store was just a bunch of countertops with like laminated copies of their catalog, and they were chained to the desk, and you just go so you would go through it, and you'd like something, and then you'd go to the counter and say, yeah, I want item had a little slip of paper, I think, and then they bring it up for you. So the whole back was a giant warehouse. And I remember buying like video games and watches. Like my brother bought like a Timex watch there one time. We went to the mall together to get it.
Yeah, that wasn't really a thing. Catalog shopping wasn't really a thing in Japan as a part of my lifetime. But we got so the only catalogs we got was LL Bean, and because LL Bean has like a Japanese branch who did like the same thing, that like it's coming from America, but they put it in Japanese yen, product copies and stuff like that. Was it not in Japanese? Anyways, I think it was in Japanese yen at least, and then my parents would sometimes just give us the catalog and it's like, do you want anything? I was like, those were like my favorite. I loved LL Bean.
Right. It was like
it was just such a to me it was like the access to like the American things, American clothes, American lifestyle, and that was like my only thing because I didn't have internet back then.
And I mean, also just the cost of. Like, I just feel like there was Sears is no longer with us. And, like, can you imagine what it must have been like in the 80s in, like, those board meetings and stuff where they're just like, we've got so much money. And we're going to print out a gajillion catalogs, full color, and ship it to everyone in Canada and America. Everyone's going to have this catalog.
Did you have to sign up for the catalog?
I feel like if you were on their mailing list, you got it.
Like you didn't ask for it, just like they send it to you?
Yeah, I think it was something like that.
That's kind of rude.
But I mean, if it's just like any other piece of mail.
It's like flyer.
Yeah. Like you got that giant thing, and when you got it, it was like, yes, let's see what all the new stuff that's coming. And it's just amazing like how much power they had. I mean, that just goes to show you the power of big brands. Right, that was a big brand. Now it's just a fond memory for some of us. The way it is. Dennis writes, the Iron Snail is passionate about it. I am certain he will be successful. Got to have the passion. Got to start small. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and also like successful definition of success is very different. As long as I think you end up positive in the financial department, I think that's a success. It's it might not be the only thing he does. He's he's a YouTuber. He's a watch reviewer. Like that's probably more of his priority.
Yeah.
But so I mean, it doesn't really need to be the only thing he makes money off of.
Success is measured in so many different ways. if you can sustain a business for yourself,
Yeah.
even if you look, I don't even care if you can sustain a business for yourself. If you're just doing the thing that makes you happy,
and you can afford it.
Right.
That's the only thing I say is that like you probably want to, end up at least breaking even in the money wise, because I'm not saying like that you have to make
No.
money every single time you do something. It's
Yeah.
just that like you probably want to keep that going.
Yeah.
If that's the only measure of success
Yeah,
that I
yeah,
would have,
yeah.
because if you can't continue what you want to do,
Yeah.
then that's not really successful.
Don't do something to your own detriment. But it's not always about the money either. Like if you're you're doing okay, fine, right? But even then, like if you learn something about learn an important lesson, like you could take that with you to the next thing, right? Like just because you failed at one thing doesn't mean you were a failure, right? Sometimes things just naturally dissolve. At some point we were very successful making face masks, but that business has changed, right? And is that a failure on our part that we couldn't market the face mask as a fashion item that you're gonna use beyond its original intended purpose? No, right? But I don't want to go with that. But all I'm saying is there's a lot of ways to measure success. It's not just how big you get. This is a random question from the Catman. I'll take random questions. To my only Japanese friends, thank you very much. We're friends now. Of course, we're all friends here. Is the CEO of Lexus famous / under threat? He was at an event in Chicago surrounded by 6 guards, only spoke to 3 people the whole night. Lexus? I know the Nissan guy. He
is no longer.
Yeah, he's not. The Nissan guy is my hero. Carlos Ghosn. If you don't know about his story, there's gonna be a Netflix documentary on this at some point.
I'm surprised it's not out yet.
Yeah, this guy built Nissan, and then
he didn't build Nissan, please.
Anyways, he headed Nissan through their most successful time ever in history ever, and I guess there was some corporate shenanigans, and somehow he ended up in Japanese jail, and he was looking at like serving.
He was committing some white collar crimes, but allegedly, but it's just so funny because he was just dragged through the mud of like Japanese media. Like media, legal system, like it just everything. He made enemies with people that just you don't like. It's just, I mean, every country has corruption, but like this was just like
they were out to get him.
Very because the thing is, like, if it was a Japanese guy, it happens to like local people too. Obviously, you make enemies and you just go through a horrible thing. But I think the fact that he was not Japanese was the reason why this was so entertaining for people watching it, because it's just like he was not like putting his head down and like accepting it. It was not, he was not having it.
He was fighting it all the way. Anyways, he ended up in jail for a while, and then they let him like have house arrest, and then like he was not to leave the country, and he was under like surveillance. And somehow, under the surveillance, he hired some like, crack team to escape him out of the country. And so he was supposed to be in Japan, and then one day he shows up on like Lebanese like news, and he's like, "See you later, guys. I'm out of here." So,
and I don't.
And that was it? It wasn't during the pandemic, was it? No, it was like before. It was before the pandemic. But anyways, he managed to get a private plane and secure. It was incredible. It was like out of James Bond. Like, got the hell out of the country.
Yes. So that's also the part of it. It was like a movie. He hired some American guys that just, are like operation, secrecy, that's kind of like a movie style kind of things. He hired those guys. They got him out, and he's out. And just, there's nothing we can do about it.
There's nothing they can do. They're never going to deport this, like, whatever legal system. I mean, he's never coming back to Japan. Like,
Yeah,
Never. Anyways, but that's
ridiculous.
anyways. He's very very entertaining story if you want to know about that. But the Lexus guy, I don't know anything about.
I
Lexus
don't
guy.
even know who that is actually.
But Carlos Ghosn, that story is incredible, incredible. Okay. La 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 da. Let's see. Yeah, a lot of people. He snuck out. LOL Mafia. Farron Harris. I had the Nissan 370Z and drove it to California down the Pacific Coast Highway in 2013. A bucket list marked off. There you go.
PCH.
Yeah. The Nissan. They had a lot of cool cars. I have some friends who are like Skyline enthusiasts, R35s, that kind of stuff. Pretty. I think as every teenage boy is like, that's one of their dream cars.
Mm-hmm.
Skyline GTR.
Well, too bad you didn't get a license.
I don't have a license.
Not too late though.
Yeah. BD writes, Bayzad and Reset, can we get the replacement patches on jackets? Yes, you can. Yeah, jackets or jeans. The only thing we don't have yet are ladies ones, because the ladies patches are smaller. But if you want to put a big patch on a lady's jean, we can do that. But yeah, we'll eventually have to.
We've done it like by mistake and stuff.
Yeah.
It just like it depends. I mean, obviously, like if you're like 24, that looks definitely way too big. But you know, it's not too bad.
Yeah. That blonde dude writes, LL Bean is awesome from my home state.
Where is it from?
What's your home state? that blonde dude? Let us know. Okay, Dennis Wethmer writes, is most raw denim Sanforized because most people don't understand the shrinking part of it? You can start.
It's not because most people don't understand it. I think it's a very big inconvenience that we could fix. And, you know, obviously there's downside to it. Like you lose the, you know, plump and fuzzy texture. But I think a lot of people wouldn't want to take the risk of just, you know, buying size that don't fit you first and then hoping it would fit you after. It's just a big inconvenience.
I mean, Sanforizing provides the customer with a lot of assurance about that denim. Sizing is going to be right. It's not going to twist. And those are, you know, also for some people, they don't, when a denim looks hairy, that might be cool for us.
Yeah, that's a very small minority of people.
Right.
Yeah.
But some people, they look at it and they're like, why are these jeans fuzzy? Right? Like, I want them to not be fuzzy. So there are certain things about Sanforization that just makes denim easier for customers to buy. Mm-hmm. And like, even on top of that, raw denim is not easy for most customers to buy. Most people see this and they're like, next, right? You have to explain that, hey, in 8 months or a year, then they're gonna look like that jean over there that you have your eye on right now. And it's like, oh, okay.
Yes.
Well, just give me that one, right? So this is an explanation already in itself. And then if you have to say, oh, well, you got to shrink it, and there's a twist that's gonna happen, and the leg's got to do this and that, it's a lot for people to take in. And for people like us who are a little bit more, hey, that's really neat and interesting. It's neat and interesting for us, but I think Sanforization is a good balance between, you know, the ultra hardcore and, you know, getting people into raw denim, right? And, you know, not every raw denim person is a raw denim enthusiast. Sometimes people just want clean, dark, indigo jeans. I want something clean. I want something nice. I don't want crap all over. I don't want paint splatters. I don't want rips and tears. I don't want, you know, washing. I just want it to be clean.
Yeah.
So,
and, you know, for any, like, one who just want a dark jeans, like, you can buy this raw and still have the option to wash it at home if you don't care about, like, you know, selling in your creases and stuff like that. Yeah. Some people just do buy it and wash the starch off, make it comfortable and start wearing it. But Sanforization is not something you can do at home. So yeah. I think that's also part of it. Yeah. Like, it's...
But I would say even in the raw denim world where we understand the process, unsanforized jeans just aren't as popular. Yeah. They really aren't. Like
it's just like the mystery of the sizing. That's just very inconvenient.
And we do a really good job. Like, we do the shrink test for you. Like, the shrink measurements are up. Like, you know what size to buy. You know, there are other brands that are like, oh, these jeans will shrink 10%. And it's like, what the hell does that mean?
Yeah.
I don't know what 10% of you know, shrinkage in the waist means.
Yeah.
You know, it
And
just,
usually it's not shrinkage on the
Yeah.
left and shrinkage on the warp is not the same.
right.
Very different.
So that's very confusing. We give you very, I think, accurate shrink measurements whenever we do an unsanforized jean, and even then, they're just not as popular. So if we do an unsanforized denim, like in our MIJ line, and we do a Tempe treatment, which, you know, is a shrink process, we get rid of the shrink for you, but we use an unsanforized denim. Basically, kind of like a soak hang dry that you would do at home, just in a bigger scale, a little different. But that is a much more popular option for people because they just that question about sizing is just, that question mark is too big. It's way too big. So if that question mark about sizing is something you're worried about, hit the like button in the chat right now.
That's unrelated.
Totally unrelated. But if that is a question that you have about sizing with unsanforized, hit the like button. And alternatively, if it's a question that you don't have, hit the like button anyways. I guess the moral of the story, hit that like button. And if you haven't already, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Tell a friend about us, somebody who likes denim, presumably, or somebody who is just interested in watching people talk about pants for 2 hours every Friday night, right here on YouTube on our
Not
live
just
stream.
pants. Just,
And
you know,
off topics. There's definitely
yeah,
some off topics
Catalogue
there.
Shopping.
So there you have it. Okay.
I got my answer on where Ella Bean is from.
Oh.
Maine.
Maine. All right. Well, there you go. That makes
That
sense.
makes sense.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. King Germs writes, hey guys, kind of off topic. We like off topic conversations. If you like off topic conversations, hit the like button. Do you see yourselves making a cerulean blue denim again? Something that's like a mid blue color of raw denim. Yeah, I see it. It's something that we want to do all the time. So it'll definitely come back again. I don't have any specific plans for it at the moment, but every time we do a planning meeting, that topic comes up. So it's just a matter of when it happens.
Yeah. Well, that JoJo's Jolene denim
right.
is kind of like that cerulean.
That's true. Cerulean color. Riley O'Brien writes, I know you guys believe in the rule of wear your denim however you want, but do you guys think the stack guy fit is more of a younger person's look, or do you think it doesn't matter? Love you guys. I don't think it's a younger guy's look. I think it works for thinner guys, which tend to be younger guys. If
it does have that certain vibe, and also the leg is like very skinny. So like, you know, if you're skinny, like it would just kind of matches with like you know the shape that you are, but it's also that like the vibe, you know.
It's like oversized top, big sneakers, skinny jeans kind of look. And that could be you if you're an older person. I know I follow a lot of guys on Instagram who, you know, they do their outfit posters, and I see sometimes there's older guys in really skinny jeans, they're rock and roll style. Cool, right? So it's more about an attitude. I just tend to find that maybe more young people have that attitude.
Yeah.
Some young people grow up and keep that attitude going into their, you know, into my age and older. And so I don't think it's a younger thing by design. It's just a younger thing by nature of the way the fit, like who the fit would work.
The body type.
Yeah, right. Demographically, what age group it would fit more. I think that made sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Well, to me.
It made sense to you?
Well, I know what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying, because we.
Yeah.
Unagi.
Unagi.
Okay. Okay. Dennis writes, should I wait for a first wash before hemming my jeans, as they could shrink lengthwise? If it's sanforized, I wouldn't really worry about it. You know, the amount of shrink that you'll get in a sanforized denim is very, very small. And even then, let me put it to you this way. Even if you had the perfect hem and they shrunk, you could stretch the jean back out. Like that's one thing a lot of people don't like. Sometimes with knitwear or shirts, like especially loose weave stuff, after everything that comes out of the dryer, which I put practically everything in the dryer, shrinks a little bit. Just pull the fabric. It gives, right? Don't rip the fabric, don't try to put all your might into it, but just give it a little tug, and you will get some. You'll loosen those fibers back up, and you will get that shrink or that stretch that you need. So keep that in mind. Lee H, any updates on the True Guy? No, not yet. As soon as I have an update, I think I'll say this every week. As soon as I have an update, you'll have an update.
Yeah. Believe it or not, we want the updates. Yeah. Probably
more than you guys. Yeah, believe me. There is stuff that I'm eagerly awaiting an update. I'm sure our team at home is very annoyed with the amount of update requests I asked for. Dennis Hurt writes, Wonderlooper crew neck sneak peek. Any interest in making the heaviest weight wool Wonderlooper hoodie? We can give you a sneak peek. Any interest in making the heaviest wool? I don't know about wool hoodie, but I think we have the heaviest weight hoodie. I really think we do. Yeah.
Yeah, wool is a difficult fiber because it's hard to wash. A lot of the times wool shrinks a lot, so you can't really wash it at home. And it's like we like sweatshirts, we like cotton. That's I think cotton is a lot more versatile fabric in terms of like carrying at home, and just use it without so much like pampering. So I think that's more of our vibe.
Look at the thickness. Look at this boy. That's a thick boy. This pair of jeans, obviously. This thing is huge. So I remember we weighed the hoodie, and the hoodie comes at like 2.9 pounds for the size medium. Like it is a beast.
Yeah.
And anyways, this is the crew neck version of it. For production, it'll be just a little bit smaller in the collar. You probably don't know. Anyways, it's just a little micro. The sample came out a little bit big, but anyways, we got the inlaid V here, so you can see it's actually in. It's not on top; it's in. So this helps keep the stretch around the neck in check, and just a beautiful heavyweight. We got the raglan sleeve. You got the expander sides. This is a neat detail. I really like this because it allows this to just stretch out with you instead of just being really oversized. Sometimes people make sweatshirts that are really, really big because, it gives you the room for movement. But this gives you a nice silhouette, and then it stretches when you need it. So we've got the rib side panels, nice ribbing on the bottom, and then when you take a look at the inside, hopefully you can see it. Might be overexposed. Hold on a second. No, that's the wrong way. So that works. You can see that those loops are just huge. So this is a 701 GSM French terry. It's what I believe to be the heaviest out there. Our sewing factory, they were like, this is the heaviest fabric we've ever used. Mm-hmm. And they specialize in doing knitwear production. And anyways, it's a beefy boy. That will be available at Tati and Yoko around holiday time. So there's your little preview of that. You want to learn more, you can follow us personally, Risa and myself, on Instagram. The link is in the description. That blonde dude writes, what is this True Guy? So the True Guy is going to be a regular straight leg jean. Mm-hmm. We have the Strong Guy, which is a relaxed straight. We want to have more of a regular straight leg. So we're just trying. Trying is the key word here.
But we
get the sample made.
Yeah, we really want this right because a lot of people have been asking. We've been wanting a good straight leg jean fit for a long time. Yeah. So we just don't want to mess it up. We don't want to just be like, okay, we're gonna start with this kind of.
I remember I showed off a sample here quite a while ago, and it was good, but the waist was not right. So I asked them to remake the sample, and let's get everything right so that we can improve it properly. And I've just been waiting on that sample for a while. I mean, if you followed Michael's story for like getting his denim jacket, like it took a while for that sample to come out, just because our production and the way everything worked, we're just so jam packed with everything, and it's the same internally. Like I sometimes I just can't get a sample made because this project just keeps getting pushed for other things. So I'm a little annoyed at this point, but that's okay. I'm the more annoyed I get, the more I push. Okay. Riley O'Brien writes, Bezat, can you confirm you hem your jeans by literally taking scissors to them? Your look is always flawless. Yep, I mean that's what we do. Here's how we do it. If you're curious, I mean, it's not just taking scissors and cutting. Like you
want to cut it straight.
You want to cut it straight. So
and even.
Yeah. What I'll do is I'll put the jeans on and I'll figure out what length I need them to be. So I'll usually cuff it to that point. So wherever my jeans length that I like, I'll just there we go. It's cuffed. So now I know that that's the length that I want. So I'll flatten it out, and then usually I'll take like a chalk or something, like a fabric chalk, and I'll just mark it in here. So when I undo it, I've got a mark, and then I'll take a ruler, and you'll have a little bit of a crease, but I'll take a ruler and I'll draw that line out with the chalk. So I've got it nice and straight. And then I'll do that same length on the other leg, and then one leg at a time, just with a pair of scissors, and don't hold it up. Have like the jeans like on a flat surface. Kind of hard to see from here, but anyways, have the jeans on a flat surface, and you take your scissors and you cut as straight as possible across the edge. If you're worried about length, maybe you're not sure, do it on the longer side, right? Because you can always make it a little shorter. The most important thing is to use a good pair of sharp scissors. Fabric scissors. You could sometimes kitchen scissors, like food scissors, are sharp enough. But if you don't have fabric scissors, test the scissor on something. Like when you try to cut a fabric, maybe you have a scrap piece of fabric somewhere, make sure that it snips it, like it goes through it like butter. Because if you're using a dull pair of scissors, you're not going to cut the fabric straight. It's going to get like caught in the material. It won't cut the fabric. So make sure that they're fabric scissors. Go to your dollar store. Oftentimes there's a sewing section and they have cheap fabric scissors. That'll work. Go to the sewing supply store. They'll have a pair of scissors.
It's better to like buy a cheap new one than like use your paper scissors for this because the paper is not going to cut the same way after you cut heavyweight denim.
Yeah.
Or like regular weight denim for that matter.
Yeah. For real, like
you cannot mix those.
In Canada, if you're any Canadians watching, there's a retail chain called Dollarama, and they actually have decent fabric scissors. Like they're fine. They're perfectly good. I've used them a million times. I think our even in our factory we use them all the time, and we've got like $300 scissors like around our office everywhere. Like we all have nice, good, proper fabric scissors, and then sometimes those are dull and you need to get them sharpened or whatever. And the answer is go buy a quick pair of fresh fabric scissors from the dollar store, and they work just fine. So I think that's the most important thing. And then you just cut, and the edges of the jean will fray over time. How do you get that fraying? It'll happen with wear. It'll certainly happen more after wash. So the more denim frays very, very nicely after wash.
Let's give
Risa, but it would do the same. Yeah. This
is not jeans, but it will do the same thing. So this is like a raw cut
edge.
So I mean it's fraying a little bit, but it's just like fuzzy.
Yeah, Risa made these coasters the other day.
Once I wash these, it will just get this kind of cool
fraying.
Yeah.
So
focusing, but you get the idea.
So this is anyway. We'll show the comparison. So you got the raw versus the wash. So eventually you'll get a little bit of fraying. You could pull out the fabric a little bit, but you get that real fuzzy kind of texture after wash. So
And also, like the fabric will start to curl at the end, and of course, like you lose a few strands of
Weft.
Yeah, so you
I-
don't want it to be the point where like if it's any shorter, I would not look good length. You want it slightly longer than your short as possible.
You might lose a little bit.
Yeah.
From that weft loss.
Weft loss and curling. I think
yeah.
curling you will lose a lot more.
Right, that's true. The curling will do it. You can iron it out, but then you're always ironing.
Yeah.
It, but, just be aware of that. Farron Harris, I live in a $2 town, a Dollar General, and a Family Dollar store. Well, there you go. Which one is it that has Jolt Cola? Dollar General.
Dollar General.
Yeah. We don't have Dollar General in Canada, and I've only been to Dollar General once, and that was to get Jolt Cola because you only have Jolt Cola at Dollar General. It used to be a thing in Canada, like every convenience store had it, and I loved Jolt because the caffeine, and I just loved that logo. Jolt had such a great logo.
Dollarama is Canadian.
Correct.
Thing, right?
Yeah, Dollarama is Canadian.
In Canada, that's the only dollar store, basically.
They've dominated that market.
Yeah,
dollar stores a lot of them were just like family businesses, like, mom and pop type shops. And now the ones that exist, I feel like they buy their inventory from Dollarama. And yeah, it's amazing. Dollarama is a big Canadian success story. I mean, they have stores everywhere. Yeah, it's I'm surprised they haven't expanded out into the States and stuff like that yet. But I think it's just a matter of time. Okay. Will the Japan Heritage Kasuris fade to? Sorry, Vince Chan writes, will the Japan Heritage Kasuri fade similar to the original Kasuri with lots of vertical streaky fades? Yes. So the warp is in the Japan Heritage lineage, so it's a similar warp, and then the weft is what we changed on that one. So you'll have that same vertical streaking, and then you'll have the colorfulness of the weft coming through.
Yeah, but if you're talking about like Kasuri Salvage, those were made with warp that are different shades of indigo to begin with. So dark indigo yarns, lighter indigo yarns, it was all mix of shades, so it wouldn't fade like Kasuri because like it's made with the same colored warp for the Japan Heritage Kasuri. The Kasuri refers to the weft in terms of this gene, this Japan Heritage Kasuri gene. So that's a difference.
Sorry, I was confused.
Yeah.
Anyways, you answered it. Melody Murray writes, can you request a raw hem if you know you're in seam when purchasing from Naked Famous?
You could, but it would take us, time because it has to go, somewhere else. Not in our building, but like not.
Well, it has to go to the alteration room, so like you might waste a day or two because it just goes into the pile of all the alterations that need to be done.
Yeah.
But I mean, you could request it. I'll if you do. I don't think anyone's ever requested it.
Yeah. I think it might be something that you want to do on your own, especially like the lengthwise, and you want to try it on the jeans, I feel.
Anyways, if you're confident in the length,
and you don't have fabric scissors, maybe we can do it.
BD writes, bring back Jolt. It's not gone. It's just only available at Dollar General, as far as I know.
Not a widely distributed item anymore.
I really would like, in when we were in Vegas, Brandon brought me a Diet Jolt Cola because he saw it at a store, and I was appreciative, but Diet Cola is the worst. Eddie Cabot. Try ruin that. John Cabot. That was a school my friend went to in high school. Eddie Cabot. Purple gradient. Lots of question marks. I could see that happening.
Yeah, I could see this. I mean, color core expanded into different colors. Color gradient core. Definitely.
Yeah. Purple gradient core, I think, will happen at some point. Mad Hatter writes, will 2% elastic jeans still stretch out wider over time? Yeah, I mean, all jeans will stretch a little bit from their like when you first get them. Like all fabrics will give a little bit.
Hmm.
Even like your shoes, when you put on your shoes, they when they're brand new versus like 2 weeks from you had, they stretch out a little bit. Now the elastic allows them to stretch more, right? So they'll be able to stretch with you.
Yeah, but yeah, definitely there's a difference between how 100% cotton stretches out versus like,
Yeah.
a lot of the stretch you need, the stretch happens because you need that room to move around.
Mhm.
That is covered by the stretch that could,
Yeah.
come back. And so it's a different kind. It's much less so than 100% cotton denim in terms of stretching out.
But there's more stretch recovery, but they will still stretch.
Yeah, and stretch recovery also is not like, it's like anything. It would degrade over time, like for over a long period of time. So if you have like 10 years into like stretch denim, it would not.
Or you put them in the dryer a lot. The dryer really kills that stretch fiber. So
the heat.
The heat. It's like a rubber band, so it's elastic. So the more heat you put on that, the more stress you put on that fiber. And when those fibers start to break, the less elasticity they're gonna have. Junior writes, Diet Cola has no place in this home. Amen. Amen. Melu, is a yellow gold core possible? Yes. I think at some point we're going to run.
All the colors.
All the colors.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just a matter of time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We can't do them all in one season, but it's
and we can't do black.
Yeah. Can't do black.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
But
yeah, we can't do a black top. I think and we can't do a black core.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not yet. Well, black core would not be visible.
Yeah.
I don't think it would make a difference. That's but like a color core with the black on top, not possible to date.
As of now.
Yeah, we haven't cracked that nut yet. Vince Edward, how backed up are you on shipping? I ordered Wednesday. If you ordered on Wednesday, if you didn't do hemming, it either would have left.
So here's the thing. There's a lot of orders, especially in the past week or so, that like we're not backed up on shipping any longer in terms of like processing times. It's just that notification is going out later because we had a massive system failure and we're still working through it. So it's possible that your order already shipped and you haven't gotten the notification yet. It is very possible. If you are worried about, like not getting the tracking and stuff like that, please email us at info@tatenyoko or info@Naked Famous Denim New York City. New York City shouldn't be experiencing any delays actually, right, but Tatenyoko, you can email us and we'll get back to you.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we're pretty smooth with the shipping right now in terms of getting product out. We had a sale.
Yeah.
So
that's true.
That just kind of, there's more pressure on the system because there's more orders going out. But
if you ordered on Wednesday, there is also a chance that it hasn't shipped yet.
Yeah. Sure. There is a chance. If anything, it'll leave maybe Monday, but probably Monday. But that's just where we're at with the shipping at this point. But it shouldn't. Processing times are still about normal. Okay. Riley O'Brien, Brazad. Sorry if you already answered this, but you just take scissors to your jeans to hem them, right? Because your look is always on point. I did answer it in depth. So maybe on the replay, just scroll back a few minutes from here. But I explained how I do it, and it is with scissors. Use fabric scissors. Fabric scissors is the way to go. Melu, black jeans with gold core. Not possible yet. Pink core, Venomous Teddy. Sure, why not?
Yes.
But, at some point, like I said, we're gonna do everything. It's really just a matter of time. Gingerwood, have you ever thought about a reverse midnight black warp blue weft? I have a feeling like we've done that before. Black warp blue left. Yeah, but yeah, I could see it. I don't know if it's gonna make much of a difference in terms of look.
It would look like a black denim, but
right.
I think you're not gonna see it so much.
The beauty of the indigo black is that the indigo gets lighter, and
Yeah.
and the contrast of the black like just blends really well with that lighter kind of electric blue color. But a black warp doesn't fade as much, and then you won't notice the blue weft because it's not going to be like unless you did like like a pure like an indigo dyed weft, like a rope dyed indigo weft that fades. I don't know. I don't think people want that. Your legs are going to be blue all day. Interesting thought though. Okay. Vance writes, okay, thanks. I ordered the Okayama Spirit 5. Good choice. No ham. So yeah, you will get them soon, and I hope you enjoy them. Any chance of a 16-ounce brown duck jacket? Specifically 16-ounce?
What was that?
There's the raw
14?
cotton canvas.
Yeah.
I think it's like it's a heavier weight. It's like maybe 14, might be 15. I think it's 14.
We would have the olive in the jacket, right?
I think they're both coming in jacket. If I'm
No,
not
well, there's the smart jacket, there's chore jacket, and then there's the denim jacket.
Yeah.
Denim jacket is only going to be available in olive, I think. Might not be published because we don't have pictures.
Oh right, we're on the pictures.
Yeah.
Okay, there is. Denim jacket, raw cotton canvas in olive is coming. The photo's not on the website yet, but it is gonna be there. And as far as like a classic duck, I can see it happening. I just don't have it on the schedule yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess we definitely need it. The only time I think we did a duck jacket was a Blue Owl collab from like.
That looked great.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. We
went
certainly
to
could
the
use
park
another duck
to
jacket.
take a picture.
Yeah, that was very old. I think I owned that jacket. I don't know what happened to it.
Probably Montreal.
Yeah, I probably outgrew it because it was probably a small.
It was 2015.
Yeah.
2015.
Yeah. Shay loudly writes, my left-hand twill midnight jacket is fading better than I expected. Awesome. I wish I picked up the same in a pair of jeans. I think,
Midnight.
That fabric was really nice. I think it will eventually come back. That midnight edition left-hand twill, very, very popular.
We wanted to kind of carry it on, and then just thought.
Anyways,
but...
like we've been playing around with the left-hand twill.
Yeah.
So like, we'll get into the preview that I think we were supposed to talk about a little while ago. The Offshoot broken twill Salvaged. So this is gonna come out on September 23rd. So not next Friday. Next Friday is the Salvaged. This is gonna come out the weekend after that. It's the Offshoot broken twill Salvaged. This is a version of the classic left-hand twill Salvage, but made in a broken twill construction. Now, I forgot to.
Okay.
Oh, Reese is gonna go find it. See if my faded jeans are there somewhere too. Then we can just show the color. But basically, we took the same warp and weft yarns that we use for our left-hand twill Salvage and made it in a broken twill construction. So now it's a interesting learning opportunity for people to see the difference between what construction does to denim in order to give it a different look, a different fade design. So if you're a fan of the left-hand twill or you're a fan of broken twills, this is going to be a great option for you. Anyways, Reese is going to pull out the original so that we can see the comparison. But for production, you see this the sample here. The sample actually has the wrong thread color, and so the production will have the yellow thread that the left-hand twill has. They're probably they're probably in my pile of jeans in the closet. Yeah, under hanging where my work shirts are hanging, underneath that. So this is the left-hand twill Salvage. This is the Offshoot broken twill Salvage. So it has the exact same warp and weft yarns, but made in a different construction. Anyways, once we change the stitching, it'll look, a little bit closer to the way that this looks. But you can see here that the denim itself looks quite different on its own. I mean, it's certainly darker And that's only because you see a little bit less of the weft than you do here. So just from construction alone, you can create a darker looking denim. And this is my pair of left-hand 12s. And again, if you follow me on Instagram, you've seen me post these, and it just creates such a beautiful fading fabric. And I mean, that's new and that's worn. So you can see, sorry, that's the other one. So you can see the transformation here. With left-hand 12 denims, you get a lot of vertical type of fading happening, and it'll certainly be exaggerated if you did like a slubby left-hand 12. I think that'd be like somebody mentioned that. That'll be another interesting way to take the left-hand 12 in another direction. We're very, very big fans of this construction, this indigo. We've had this in our collection for, I say like a decade now. And this is what Risa's talking about with the curling, with the raw hem.
Yeah.
You know.
So he lost about maybe a half centimeter or two.
Yeah.
In the curling.
So if you cut it exactly, it might end up a little bit short. So you definitely want to have them a little bit longer. I don't want to put my feet up on camera because that's weird, but I'll take a picture of it. I ironed my hems. You can't see it, anyways. On this jean last night, but that's it. So anyways, Offshoot Broken Twill Salvage coming out September 23rd. I'm really looking forward to it. Man, there's so many jeans I want to fade, and like my left hand 12, that's my favorite faded jean that I own, and I want this to fade. I want
somebody to fade this, and I want to see it. I'm very interested.
Yeah. So that's coming very, very soon. And then we've got another preview. I think we've shown this a few times, but I like this one, and I think it's on the schedule because I think these just arrived in the warehouse. Okay, and then finally, tentatively scheduled for September 30th release, is the Hiba Scratch-n-Sniff denim. So this is the new Scratch-n-Sniff denim coming out. And we've done some different Scratch-n-Sniff flavors before, like flavors, yeah, different flavors. They were we did raspberry Scratch-n-Sniff, mint Scratch-n-Sniff. So we did like a forest evergreen. Yeah. But this is a Japanese cypress tree. So they call it a Hiba cypress, and it's just got like the most relaxing smell there is.
I love this smell. It's such a, I don't know. I associate this smell because I'm Japanese. I associate this smell with, onsen, like usually like a bath, like a fancy bath, old school Japanese style bath would have this like wooden walls, wooden like tub. Yeah. And those are insanely hard to keep from molding, but they just give you the amazing smell, and it's so relaxed.
It's, if you come to Japan, it's definitely a very fun experience to go to one of these places, especially if you go to like onsen town, like you go like to Hakone or something like that, like, and there's just these areas where it's like there's a hotel and it's just an onsen hotel. So like you have your room, and then they have all these baths that you can enjoy. You're looking out towards nature, just you and a bunch of dudes in a bath, just chilling out.
If you're a dude.
If you're a dude. If you're a lady, you're with the ladies.
Bunch of dudes. But well, these days, like all kind, that kind of hotel ryokans have like the onsens that are made of like marbles or like stones that are a lot easier to keep clean. Yeah. But some of them would still have like a just maybe small like a wooden bath, and just like you would get what I mean. It's just such a luxury to smell the wood while you take a bath.
Yeah, it's anyways, it's a relaxing experience, and I'm looking forward to these ones coming out. So that's the September releases. So the Selvedge, we've got the Offshoot Broken Twill Selvedge, and then we've got the Hiba Scratch-n-Sniff Selvedge. So 3 releases coming up. And then October we'll have some of the more hardcore releases: Elephant, the Firebird, Yeah, we've got holiday. Will be JoJo's. We're gonna have the MIJ 10 and 11 maybe by the end of the year.
Probably by the end of the year.
Okay, so
yeah.
the next couple of months are gonna be wild. Like so many things coming out. Yeah.
There are ones that just we can't even remember right now.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot planned out. So we're very excited for all of these releases. A lot of videos for us to be making, a lot of genes for us to be talking about. Right now we're developing fall winter 23. So my brain is in so many different seasons right now because we got fall winter 22, spring summer 23 that we just finished kind of booking for. So we're getting all that stuff into production now. If there's any, and then also like as we do the production, there's a lot of review stuff. So it's like any changes that we need to make before the production comes out. So that's all like we're figuring out. There's a lot of product there. Then there's fall winter 23 that we're figuring out, and then also the fall winter 23 MIJs. We got collaborative projects. There's a lot of stuff. So very exciting time.
It's exciting. It's overwhelming.
It's kind of very stressful. Because I'm looking at fabric. We're looking at fabric all day, and at some point, I'm trying to figure stuff out. I'm like, forget it. I can't look at this anymore because you just get overwhelmed, and I need a break.
Yeah. And my problem these days is that like I think of like I look at some fabric that's similar to what we did like in the past, and I'm like, we just did this. And it's like, no, it was 5 years ago.
Yeah,
like,
it's true. Yeah, sometimes we look at something and we're like, oh yeah, that wasn't like, like you're doing something like Left Hand to a Midnight Edition. Like that's probably been 3 years.
Yeah, probably
right?
At least.
But in my head, a lot of this stuff is fresh.
Yeah.
Right. And so I'm like, oh no, we can't. It's too early to bring that back. And I'm like, oh no, we did that so long ago.
Yeah.
3 years isn't that long ago, but it might be if you're a customer. Like,
if you're waiting for it to come back. Sure.
Yeah. Tidy and Salvage. I need more legs. I need more legs.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that's where we're at right now. Kintrap writes, when will we get another monstrously neppy pair of jeans like the King Lord series? We're working on another one. So that's coming. That's coming.
Fall 23, hopefully.
Yeah, fall 23. Okay. Let us talk about recommendations. You know, every week we come out with movie recommendations, but this week, as I alluded to earlier in the stream, we're going to be talking about, I think it's my favorite game console. If I look back in the history of game consoles, this is my favorite game console, and that is the Sega Dreamcast. It is the 23-year anniversary of the Sega Dreamcast.
I've never heard you talk about console's birthday other than this one.
Yeah.
Like
this one is because it came out on 9/9/99. I think this was the most hyped release of any game console that I was excited for. I mean, I was there for a lot of console launches, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, Wii. Like, I was there in line. Switch. Like, I was there for, like, I generally speaking get every game console on release day, right? But this is the one that I was the most hyped up for. I had a friend who had one before it came out in North America. So we were... Yeah, because it came out in Asia a few months before, and so he had one, and he had come back from like a summer holiday, and he had it. So we were at his house playing Dreamcast before it was available in stores. But then again, like all the EB games and stuff like that, they all had like a Japanese Dreamcast in the store, and you could try them out. So for me,
was it different? Like, did it look different?
No, the Japanese one, the difference was that this piece of plastic right here was clear. See how it's clear here? The Japanese one. This has kind of been like, plastic is just over time it ages, and you can see the discoloration. But so the North American one, it was like kind of the same color as this. In Europe, it was also plastic, but the Dreamcast logo was blue. Anyways, those were some slight differences, but this to me was the first time that the home console was the arcade,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I loved arcade games. I lived at the arcade. So when this came home, I was like, okay, video games, this is it. They're never gonna get any better than this. This is the pinnacle of arcade, of video game quality, and I thought it was really neat. 4 controller ports. It had internet access. I mean, what a cool device.
Was this the first time like the game came in like a disc?
No.
Compact
They had discs before. I mean,
Mm.
there are a lot of CD consoles before that. But
Mhm.
anyways, it was disc based. The controller was cool. Well, PlayStation was out before this, you know, and there was
Oh,
also
okay.
CD like
Okay.
add-on consoles
Mhm.
before that. Like the controller had this little kind of memory unit with a screen on it. You could play like little mini games on here, and like it display like game data on this little screen. I thought that was like, wow, what a cool like piece
Oh,
of tech.
this is a screen that you. Oh, I see.
Right. So yeah,
Oh, empty.
yeah.
I
So
didn't
it
know
had like a
that.
memory
That's
card.
cool.
This is a memory card that had another memory card area. I think. Anyways, you could put another one in. But yeah, have like little game data, or sometimes you could transfer data onto this thing. You could share your save files.
Is this the original color of the buttons?
Yep.
These are cool.
Yeah.
It's like a pastel
Yeah.
finish.
So what a cool, neat looking controller. I don't think it ended up being like the best fitting controller over time. But anyways, I thought it was a neat controller. And I mean, you know, you're a nerd. You got the keyboard, of course. You know, you wanted to surf the information superhighway, play games like Typing of the Dead. So what a cool looking keyboard, eh? Clear key. I like clear products. But we're here to recommend games. So if you've never owned a Dreamcast before, you can probably pick one up at your local used game shop for a few bucks. They're not going to be expensive. The games, if you import them from Japan, they certainly won't be expensive. And the North American ones, maybe they're a little bit more in value these days. But there's other ways to play Dreamcast games that I'm not gonna. I think if you're into playing games, you already know about it. I'm not gonna mention it here. I don't think. Anyways, but let's just talk about some of the best games that ever came out on.
Jeez.
Usually it's like one movie recommendation, but I was like so excited for Dreamcast Day.
Well, you also don't have every week to recommend
Yeah,
these
right.
games.
So I mean, just in the Street Fighter world, I mean, Marvel 2. I mean, if you like fighting games, this is the pinnacle of tag team fighting games right here. Marvel versus Capcom 2 is still played to this day on a competitive level. So definitely you want to own that on the Dreamcast. And then here's another. I mean, if you're look, this game is incredibly deep and insane. I mean, there's just a lot of like glitch exploits in this game. If you want something that is maybe a little toned down, the original Marvel vs. Capcom. I love the Versus series, but I probably played this more than I played this. I think I'm better at this than this, but I enjoy Marvel vs. Capcom 1 a lot. Or X-Men vs. Street Fighter. This is 3-on-3 battle, 2-on-2 battle. And then a game that I still literally play every day, Crazy Taxi. I love this game. I'm a big giant fan
Somebody mentioned
of
this.
Crazy Taxi.
Yeah.
Did somebody mention it?
Yeah. Frank, so many hours of Crazy Taxi
Yeah.
played on Dreamcast.
I still play it every day. I have it on my phone. I play it every day.
You know what drives me crazy? There's only one song.
There's like 2 songs.
Okay, 2
But,
songs that just
yeah.
plays on repeat.
Yeah.
That's
So,
insane.
I got the Crazy Taxi. Interestingly enough, I also have Crazy Taxi 2, but none of them are complete. I have a Japanese Crazy Taxi 2 that doesn't have the back, and I have an American Crazy Taxi 2 that's just a disc. But Crazy Taxi 2 and I got Crazy Taxi 3 for Xbox. I have Crazy Taxi for Game Boy Advance. I have Crazy Taxi for Steam. I have Crazy Taxi on Android. I love Crazy Taxi. I'm a big Crazy Taxi fan.
The other day you played it in the arcade.
Yeah, I was playing in the arcade in Vegas. But big Crazy Taxi guy. If you like shoot 'em up games, Giga Wing or the Giga Wing series, highly recommended. Like spaceship type shooter games. Very, very fun game right here. More Capcom stuff. Capcom vs. SNK 2. This is probably the Street Fighter game, well, other than original Street Fighter 2, probably the Street Fighter game that I'm most best at. I was very competitive in the Street Fighter on the Capcom versus SNK2 scene back in the day.
What is SNK?
It's a Neo Geo. Anyways, it was another universe. It was another company. Like Capcom's a company and SNK is a different company. They made different fighting games, King of Fighters series. Anyways, they melded these two worlds together, and I played the crap out of this game competitively. On the Xbox Live, I was in like the top 500 in the world. I played so much of this. I was very very big fan of that game. And Alpha 3, everyone this is a must own for Dreamcast fighting game fans. And then the other series that I just love the most is this series right here, Jet Set Radio or Jet Grind Radio in North America. They called it Jet Set Radio in Japan. I had to have both because you just need to have that cover. Look at how cool that cover is. And I mean, the disc looks like a record. Great music in this series. Great. It's a fun game. Control actually really sucks in this game. Very janky controls, but you'll get used to it. But an excellent soundtrack. There's the North American disc there for you too.
Very of the time.
Very of the time. The artwork. But you know what? It holds up because it's all cell shaded graphics. So if you play it today, it just plays like it looks like you're like a cartoon. So I think it's a very, very fun game. You can get this on you can get that on Steam. You can get that on a bunch of different things. I even have the sequel, which came out on the Xbox, the Jet Set Radio Future. This is my original copy that I got from back in the day, and I thought I had the. Sometimes I could keep the receipts in there, but look at that, like shiny box. Anyways, big fan of the Dreamcast. Big fan of at this point retro gaming. It wasn't retro when I was playing them, but yeah. If you like video games, go and enjoy some Dreamcast today on 9/9/2022, 23 years after the launch of this wonderful console and the last game console that Sega ever put out. Right?
Oh,
yeah, this was their swan song. This was it. They were betting the farm on this, and the big mean company they weren't successful. Xbox came out after this. Xbox is, I guess, some retro gamers think of Xbox as the successor of the Dreamcast because this, for people who don't know, was a Microsoft powered console. It ran on Microsoft CE, and I think Microsoft learned a lot about game consoles from this. And then you saw some of the Sega properties immediately show up on Xbox when it came out. So again, Sega. So a lot of these games came out on the Xbox. They might have been on the Dreamcast 2 one day, but that didn't come to fruition. All right. So that's game console game recommendation instead of movie recommendation this time.
Everybody seems to be
into it.
Yeah.
Tidy and Salvage, Typing of the Dead. Yes, there was a typing.
That is the only Dreamcast game I've played.
Yeah.
You made me play it on this clear keyboard.
Yeah.
That was fun.
So instead of shooting the zombies, you have to type
it
words
away.
out. And so like every letter you type, like it affects the zombie, like you're hitting it with a bullet. And you got to type fast and you got to type accurately. So it's kind of a fun.
It's very scary.
Yeah.
I don't know. I get pressured.
Yeah. Amiv, Marvel versus Capcom was dope and fast. Marvel 2 especially. The speed in that really, really picked up. Eric Bennett, Sega 2K Football was fun because if you were playing a friend, you could pick your team. You could pick your plays on the VMU without your friend seeing your play. Yeah, you could pick your football plays here, so it's not on the main screen, right? So very, very, very cool detail there. So many hours playing Crazy Taxi on the Dreamcast. Keep playing it. Never stop playing it. Fossil Draws, welcome back. Haven't caught a stream in months. Boo work. Boo work. Welcome back to the stream, my friend. I loved Earthworm Jim so much. I loved Earthworm Jim so much when I was a kid. Vance Edwards, right? Earthworm Jim is a great series. The Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo ones especially. BD, Reset and Bayhead, you guys are the best. You genuinely and totally support each other's interests. You guys are the best. I think you guys are the best. Okay, let's go into snack time because we found something weird yesterday, and I thought you guys might enjoy it.
All right, so this is a Chip Star, consomme flavored chips with chocolate.
Yeah.
So I mean, we've all seen the like potato chips dipped in chocolate and stuff like that, and I think we accepted it as a thing. But in general, that chip that they use is usually just salt.
Right.
Tasting. This one is consomme flavor. This is like a very popular flavor of potato chips in Japan. It just tastes like a broth.
Yeah. It's odd because I happen to really like consomme chips.
Yeah.
And it would be like the equivalent of finding salt and vinegar chips in the grocery store in North America. Like it's not a specialty. That is the norm. Like there's salt, there's consomme, and like butter, honey. Like those are like the three main flavors.
To be fair, I think consomme might even outsell salt. Maybe it's pretty close either way, like salt and consomme. Right. But Chip Star is like a Japanese version of Pringles. It's like it's not the potato chip; it's like a mashed potato.
But it's the same shape and it comes in a tube.
Yeah. Slightly smaller.
Yeah.
Because it's Japan.
Yeah, Japan sized.
But yeah, we just thought that consomme flavored with chocolate might be
a fun
interesting
mix. And I find that this is an unusual Japanese snack because like it just in a way that like Japan does like to mash things up together, but these are two things that I don't think it would have been a normal Japanese mashup. Like it's really covered in the potato chips.
Yeah, these are small
small
crumbs.
Little, give that a try.
Maybe they're using crumbs. The chocolate.
I taste the consomme.
The chocolate is not like a regular chocolate. Powdery. It's like biscotti, like biscotti style chocolate, like a cookie almost. I do taste that consomme, not necessarily the best combination of flavors.
No, this is not. Like the cookie part, the chocolate part, would be kind of fine on its own. Like if you were to have it with like coffee or a tea or something. And then the chip part just doesn't match it. Because the chocolate part is like, it kind of tastes like cheap, sophisticated chocolate.
It's cheap chocolate.
Yeah.
And then after that overpowering chocolate
you get like this kind of
then you get
soup
like a
consomme flavor.
Consomme flavor.
Not recommended.
No, not great.
No.
I was wondering, this also like the fact that these chips are so small, I feel like maybe they're just scraping the bottom of the chip, like
maybe
for production, and then just dump it in with the chocolate. That would be funny. Recycle.
I went back for that second one. Not recommended. No.
Yeah.
That was a weird one.
It's interesting.
Yeah, interesting taste. All right. Well, everybody, that's going to conclude this week's live stream. Thank you so much for everybody who joined us, everybody who's watching on the replay, everybody who watched from the beginning all the way to the end.
Yes,
you guys are the real heroes. We're going to be back again next Friday, same denim time, same denim channel right here, 7 p.m. Eastern here on YouTube. Be sure to follow us on our social medias. All the links are in the description below. Have a wonderful weekend. Do something nice for somebody. Do something nice for yourself. Treat yourself, and we'll see you guys next time.